In 1945, a U.S. Army plane carrying 24 people vanished over the mountains of New Guinea. The aircraft, known as the Gremlin Special, had crashed deep inside a hidden valley, a place so remote it was called Shangri-La by the locals. When the wreckage was finally spotted from the air, it seemed like a miracle that anyone had survived. But against all odds, 3 people were still alive: Corporal Margaret Hastings, Sergeant Kenneth Decker, and Lieutenant John McCullum. They were trapped, surrounded by dense, uncharted jungle and towering, cloud-covered peaks. There were no roads, no clearings, nothing but a wall of green in every direction. Rescue planes could circle overhead, dropping supplies, but there was absolutely no place for them to land. It looked like a hopeless situation. The survivors were in a world untouched by modern civilization, and many believed they would never make it out alive. But the U.S. Army wasn't going to give up. They decided to attempt something that sounded like it was straight out of a Hollywood movie. A team of elite paratroopers, led by Captain C. Earl Walter Jr., volunteered for a daring mission. They jumped from a plane into the unknown valley, not knowing what they would find on the ground. Their job was to reach the survivors, provide medical care, and then figure out an escape route. Once in the valley, they faced an enormous challenge. The only way to get the survivors out was by air, but how could a plane land in the middle of a dense jungle? The paratroopers, with the help of the local Donny people who inhabited the valley, embarked on an incredible feat of engineering. Using only hand tools, they began carving a crude airstrip out of the jungle floor. For weeks, they chopped down trees, cleared brush, and leveled the ground, slowly creating a tiny runway in the heart of Shangri-La. Even with the airstrip, a normal plane couldn't land and take off from such a short, makeshift field. The solution was as risky as it was brilliant: a glider rescue. A fragile Waco CG for a glider would be towed into the valley and released, attempting to land on the tiny jungle runway. Then, after loading the survivors, it would have to be snatched back into the air by a C-47 transport plane flying low overhead, a maneuver that required perfect timing and nerves of steel. One by one, the gliders made the treacherous landing, with the survivors were carefully loaded aboard. Then came the most dangerous part. A C-47 flew low, trailing a hook. With a violent jolt, the hook snagged the glider's tow rope, yanking it off the ground and into the sky. Against all odds, the plan worked. After 47 days of being stranded, the 3 survivors who were once given up for dead were finally on their way home, thanks to one of the most audacious and incredible rescue missions in military history. Thanks for watching.